This is the prize fighting business Fighter in Focus. Today's Fighter in Focus is Brandon Royval. Brandon is a professional mixed martial artist and prize fighter that trains with Factory X Muay Thai down in Denver, Colorado. He was scheduled to be the headliner main event at LFA 78 that was supposed to take place on October 4th in Broomfield, Colorado. The fight card, however, was scratched due to an issue with broadcast partners, so Brandon instead came on the show to discuss what this means for him, his future career, and his martial arts journey. Now let's dive into my conversation with Brandon Royval. Well, Brandon, thank you for coming on.
Oh, always, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So we were going to have you up here talking about your upcoming fight for LFA, but last notice change here, and the fight got canceled. So maybe tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think this fight will always happen. I think me and this kid are definitely going to have to fight each other again, no matter what the circumstances is. If it's LFA or not LFA, Jerome and I are definitely not done handling our business, so I'll see him again no matter what, in my opinion. Hopefully it's LFA for that belt or in the UFC, so hopefully we get paid and get compensated the way that we should for that fight. But woke up with a text message this morning. Actually, I woke up with like an email last night saying that the fight's canceled, that they're going to have to postpone the fight due to LFA losing the Access TV getting dropped for their spot on the TV.
Because they just got bought out 2 weeks ago. Access TV just got bought out, so it's a little unsure with the broadcast partnership. Turns out they weren't able to renew it with Access TV, at least at this time. Yeah. So now they're out of broadcast partner, and there's big money there. Yeah,
that's exactly. So they're still looking to, obviously, LFA is a big promotion that does a lot of good things for us up-and-coming fighters. So what they want to do is broadcast it on TV, and I think how they make a lot of their money is on TV too. And essentially that's how we make a lot of our money is on TV too. So They couldn't find anything to work out by October 4th, so the whole entire card got canceled. Today's what, the 24th, the 25th?
Yeah.
So September 25th, so we're a little bit more than a week out, so
and a half, yeah.
Pretty devastating for all of us fighters to find that out at this time, and all of our fans and all of our sponsors, pretty much everybody that put in work to us are working with us at this point, because this is a big fight for a lot of us. We talked about the card a little bit before. When I first got here, but a lot of us are on that cusp, and especially if it's Colorado fighters, myself included. But then you have Anthony Adams on that card.
Yep.
Then you have Josh on that card, and Josh Huber, if you guys haven't heard of him, I think he's 8-1 as a bantamweight.
And 24 pro wins, 6-fight win streak. Yeah,
there's not enough good things anybody can say about Josh Huber. So for me, as soon as the TV card was slotted, I have a lot of my family coming to this, but the world needs to see Josh Huber, man. Every Colorado fucking fighter fan knows Josh Huber. You gotta watch him. He's the best. He was ranked, I think, in 55, 45, he was ranked number 1 until recently, and 35 he's ranked number 1 all Colorado forever, man.
Yeah.
Ever since I started, it became pro. Josh Huber's a man to fear, man. I started off as a 35er, and right away I just kind of knew, like, Josh Huber, he would think he's a 45er at the time, but I was like, that might be a guy I have to fight. And now I'm fortunate enough to train with him, and he was actually my main training partner for this fight.
Oh, wow.
So I was really excited to not only go out there, but if me and him both get wins out there, that's a big spot for us to kind of shine and get into the UFC.
Absolutely. I think there were over 12, 14, maybe even 16 Colorado-based fighters on the card. I mean, it was primarily a Colorado card, so it is a lot of missed opportunity. You were the main event of the card. Yeah. Like you said, you feel like you have unfinished business with Jerome Rivera. And tell me more about that last time you fought him and why you feel like there's unfinished business there.
I feel like there's unfinished business because I don't think either one of us get a chance to kind of show what we can do out there. Last time I fought him was like around Cinco de Mayo, I think last year or something. Mm-hmm. And him and I fought, and within like 30 seconds, his arm broke against a cage. And that was like the end of the fight.
From a kick, or how did that happen?
I think I caught his kick, pushed him against the cage. He reached out, and I think he just posted on it wrong and just snapped his arm, or whatever happened in that situation is what happened.
So you get the win in that instance, but you feel like you want to prove it even more. You want it to be definitive.
I get the win, and I get the win. And I think no matter what's going to happen, I'm very confident in this matchup with him. is I think I was going to get the win no matter what. I think if that fight didn't end up this way, I was going to knock him out or sub him, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
And 17 seconds in that fight, I dropped him.
Yeah.
Just to get that out there.
Yeah.
But 17 seconds into that fight, I did drop him. And I think that fight was going to go my way no matter what. But at the same time, I didn't get a chance to prove it. And as a fighter, and especially in like his situation, is I think all of us, win, lose, man, we want to go show what we can do. We put a lot of work out there, and you want to show everything that you can do in that fight. And nobody wants to go out there and just be like, I could have did more, I could have did this, I could have did that. And and essentially, he couldn't do anything, man. His arm broke 30 seconds in. He didn't have a chance to show anything. So I can sit here and say I was going to knock him out all day, every day, and feel like that was true or not. But at the end of the day, he couldn't show me his best. And at that point, it's like I can chalk that up as a win, but at the same time, I can chalk it up as unfinished business, and we can do this again.
Right.
And I think at the LFA platform or the UFC platforms, that's what favors me. I'm ranked higher than him right now. I'm ranked a decent amount higher than him, I'm pretty sure. But I'm top 40 in the world right now, and like I said, I don't think that fight does anything for me unless it's at the top level, and it's and the LFA belt, that's the top level. LFA belt.
So this would have been for the belt. This would have been for the flyweight belt.
Yeah, and this one should have been for the vacant flyweight belt. And as most LFA belt winners do go to the UFC, same as Brandon Moreno, who won the belt last, went right to the UFC, and he fought on that UFC New Mexico.
He should have won that fight, in my opinion.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, that was an amazing fight.
I think that was kind of I think it was clear that he won. You know.
me too. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens, it's really good for the flyweight division.
Absolutely. Great fight.
It's a great fight. It shows two guys wanting to win, expert everywhere. I wouldn't say Askar Askarov was the best striker, but he put out a gutsy performance, threw hard, and did what he had to do. And Brandon Moreno did what he had to do, and it was a great fight, man. So like I said, winning the LFA belt would do big things for Jerome's career and my career for sure.
Absolutely.
So fighting on that platform and fighting at that level, man, means the world to me. I put in a lot of work for this fight, and so did all of us, man. So it's heartbreaking to hear that fight didn't go through. I hope that both of us get a chance to kind of redeem ourselves and get a chance to kind of show what we both have.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And that goes for everybody too, because my teammate Josh Huber is fighting an 11-0 opponent from Russia or from some country, Georgia or something.
Yeah, Georgia, I think.
And it's like I said, that's an opportunity too.
Showcase
man.
fight.
Yeah. He was gonna shut that guy down. He was gonna destroy that guy. Yusuf Salal is fighting one of LFA's top prospects at the time, Zach Riley, at his 35 debut. And I think Zach Riley has wins over two UFC opponents, our former UFC guys. One's current, one's former. But either way, Yusuf's gonna walk in, put a clinic on him. It does a lot for our careers, you know. So
absolutely,
to have that fight canceled is just fucking it's devastating, man.
Yeah, and I know it's a little early still to say, but I mean, does it seem like you said the verbiage in the email spoke to the idea of postponing this event? So I mean, is this something where you just kind of wait and see, or do you have to start looking at other opportunity?
That's a good question, man. Because like I said, I've done a lot of waiting as far as MMA goes. Like in this thing, I've had years off of fighting or trying to find fights and stuff. And as far as that goes, man, it's like I'm done waiting, man. I want to make this happen now. Now's a good time for me to shine. I'm entering my prime, and I think right now is the best time for me to shine. So I don't want to wait for anything, man. If waiting for that LFA title shot means fighting at the end of the year or next year, then I don't want to wait for that. I want to go get that next fight, man. And like I said, I owe it to myself to go do that.
Absolutely.
I have no like, I don't know. I'm not sitting on like MMA is a short career.
Right.
MMA is a short career. I don't know what happens tomorrow. I don't know if I go out and train tonight and get my arm hurt or mangled or what happens, you know. So me waiting for the next 3 months, 4 months to see what happens and hope that it all kind of pans out and works out my way, that I get a title shot, and if I win that title shot, I go to the UFC. It's like I can wait, man, and the people are, what is it, like, things happen for the people that are patient or whatever the fuck that saying is. I don't even know.
Perhaps.
Yeah, something like that. But it's like, fuck, man, I want to make things happen, man. I got to make things happen. I got to make noise, you know? And I'm coming off a nice win. I'm coming off a win off a UFC event. And like I said, I thought I did a great job in that fight, stand-up and ground game.
Yeah, you beat Joby Sanchez, who, like you said, is a UFC veteran, multi-fight UFC veteran, and he did well in the UFC. And you beat him quickly and decisively.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think I did to him what I know people that are in the current UFC roster aren't doing to him.
Right.
And like I said, I know I'm at that. I like to kind of fiddle around. It's like, oh, I could be at that level, but I know I'm at that level. I've trained with a lot of these guys in the UFC. I know what they're bringing, and I know what I'm bringing, and I know that I belong there. I know
You're
that,
just looking for your opportunity.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, what is it? I belong at a seat with them, man. Like, not only do I sit with them, but I think I'm better than a lot of them. I think I bring a lot more. I think I'm a lot more exciting. I think I'm a lot better at stand-up and ground game. So.
Well, I think you've taken a big step in your career. I mean, you mentioned before we stepped in the booth here that you just signed with Iridium Sports Management. Yeah. They've got a great relationship with the UFC. They've got a lot of fighters in the UFC. They represent a lot of fighters. A lot of times they're at, nearly every card. So, I mean, you are doing the right thing, hiring a manager or switching to a manager like that is premier in the higher ranks. I mean, that's a big move.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest moves I've done recently, but this is one of many, man. I've gotten a lot better at being a professional at this. Before, this was like, not necessarily a beer league to me because I never drink or anything, but like, I wasn't taking my diet as serious as I could have. I was just going out there and I was working hard and I was doing everything I thought I had to do, but I wasn't doing it like scientifically, and now I'm doing it with people that are like, all right, you train these days, you need this day off, you need this day off. This is how much you're lifting this day, this is how much you're going to lift that day.
Yeah, what does the pro team look like? I mean, what does the team look like around
as
you?
of right now, I have Iridium. And Iridium comes with a bunch of guys that like surround you. We have lawyers, we have a bunch of stuff. I have Jason that I talk to almost on a daily basis. I talk to Lance constantly. So I'm in constant touch with them all week, every day. And they know exactly what's going on in my life. I know exactly what's going on in their life. Even if it's just like a friendly you just talk to.
Sure.
Like I said, it's a real management team, and it makes you feel a little bit more legit just knowing that that you have guys that are getting the job done constantly around you
and supporting you.
Yeah, but that being said, I hired a nutritionist. I hired Tyler Mitten and the Melee Way, and I'm at 35 right now. Like I woke up at 35, which is like amazing for me because
a week and a half.
I cut a shit ton of weight sometimes, man. And like I said, I had a nutritionist. I've been dieting for 2 months straight, and so same thing with Yusuf. Yusuf's been dieting for 2 months straight. Josh cut a ton of weight, man. So
you guys recently posted a picture on Instagram looking shredded.
We all look skinny as hell. Yeah, that's exactly. We over here look like malnourished and stuff, but yeah, so we're like.
How did you find out about them, the Melee Way? I mean, how did you stumble upon that?
The Melee Way, he actually did like a seminar at our gym one day.
Cool.
So he came down and did a seminar at our gym. I took a bunch of notes on it, and I don't know what happened to that notebook between now and then, but like between every time I've made flyweight, I've always kind of lost a little bit, and I lost a little bit more, and I lost a little bit more, and then for my last 2 cuts, I've been eating nothing but eggs, kale, and like yams when I want to have a little bit more energy that day, you know. So I wasn't doing it the way that I was supposed to be doing it. I mean, I was getting the job done. I was making 125 for sure, but I wasn't making 125 and eating what I could have been eating, and potentially eating good too, because like Tyler Mitten has me eating good food, eating.
Yeah, what does it look like? I mean, what is a normal day's diet?
I kind of circle through because I have like my favorites, but in the morning I have oatmeal. I still did that oatmeal, honey, cinnamon on top of it, just so it tastes really good. I have Greek yogurt, banana, and coffee with my honey in it. Then right after that, I usually have eggs and so I'm allowed to have toast, which is nice because I've never actually been. So I usually cut like bread and stuff out of it, but it's gluten free, but it tastes the goddamn same. So I have avocado toast every day. Oh, it's my favorite.
Cool. So you're getting your healthy fats. You got protein in the yogurt. You've got the carbs from the oatmeal, the natural sweetener with the honey. So
and that's
well-rounded, and you still get to eat, like you said.
Yeah, I throw my almond butter inside my oatmeal, and it's so good, man. I love it. So before I was making weight, but I was making weight the most miserable way possible, eating like. I was eating what I should have been eating maybe, but like not eating and like being happy about it. So this fight camp, I paid some money, and I have a nutritionist that's doing a great job by me. And like I said, I'm right where I need to be, actually better than I've ever been at. So.
And you mentioned that you've sold over 100 tickets. I mean, what does that look like? Do you have to go hand those back one by one?
I think that's the way it's going to have to look at. So fortunately for me, man, I have a great support system behind me. I have my Nina, my auntie Deanne, my mom, and my girlfriend who sold a lot of tickets for me.
Yeah,
sold a
the
lot
Royval Army.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying. They're like, we're Team Royval over here. And I love it, man. But like I said, I hardly sold any tickets. I sold a ticket to a hockey team, and that was the best I got done, man. A whole hockey team bought tickets for me, so that was awesome. But
you got to focus.
Yeah, I sold over 160 tickets, which is crazy because I don't do above 20 normally. I don't do above 20, 30. Like I said, people see me on that sign when they drive past the First Bank Center. Yeah, and like that being said, is like I think people know this is a big fight for me. They know that this is like, okay, this could be the last time we actually watch Brandon fight. So
Until the UFC comes to Denver.
yeah, and the UFC comes to Denver, then I'm going to be talking all my shit to get on that card. But like I said, I think this is a big opportunity for me. And I think it's a kind of just a way that like all my fans or my friends and my family could kind of just be like, all right, yeah, well, we were there. We watched him change his life right there. And that was a big moment for me. It could have been a big moment for me. It's still going to be a big moment for me. I know I'm going to go out there, fight, and I'm going to get that belt for sure.
And hopefully it's just postponed a short period of time. They're able to reschedule, get something on the books. But what if it doesn't? Like, do you start considering local promotions, or are you looking like at something that's on UFC Fight Pass? I mean, like, what would you envision? Do you care about that exposure being on TV? Is that important to you, or are you comfortable with local promotions as long as they're giving you the push you need and the matchup that you desire?
Yeah. So I mean, I think number one for me is just like the number system is like one. I want to be fighting the top ranked opponents, man. I feel like I'm in the top caliber. I feel like I could be top 10 by the end of the year, and I want to just start making those waves. I don't want to fight anybody ranked below me. I really don't.
Are you comfortable traveling to go fight these guys, or would you prefer it like this?
No,
I mean, the past two times you've gotten a Colorado fight, which is nice with LFA, especially because it is such a promotion that's in the spotlight. You get to be the featured bout in the last one, main event here.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that you like being at home, or are you comfortable traveling to go get these top contender fights or top ranked people across the country?
Either way, man. Honestly, like I said, I think this is the first time I ever where like I'm selling tickets. I was like, oh, you only sold 20 tickets? Like, what the hell? This is your this is your hometown? So
Sure,
I think this is the first time where it's like, yeah, I sold this many tickets. Get out of my face with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
it looks good. Promoters like that.
Yeah, promoters love that. So I think this is the first time I could just kind of show out and be like, yeah, I sold this many tickets, this many tables. So I think this event specifically would have been awesome in Colorado. But it doesn't even matter to me. I just want to make something happen, man.
Cool.
If there's a top ranked opponent around me, I want them.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, and exactly. I'm in peak performance, man. I've never felt better in my life, like as far as like cardio goes. I train with Landau Performance. I've been doing that for a couple of years now, but I've been doing it and like lifting heavy and doing actual really good stuff as of recently, serious for like a year, man. And that's another thing, man. That's another like key component that I have added to my team. Besides my actual like real team, I have a nutritionist. I have a great management. I have a great team behind me, but now I have a Landau Performance. Strength and conditioning is top notch, man. They do the UFC awards, and Landau Performance is up there with all of them.
Yeah. I mean, they train a lot of top pro athletes, from Broncos, Rockies players to the top fighters in Colorado. So yeah, I mean, I think it's not only a big asset for Colorado fighters, but you guys are a big asset to them, that there's such great talent locally here in Colorado and so much opportunity for, I mean, potentially other promotions to come in and promote you guys as well. So, I mean, what from here? Do you just kind of wait and see what happens with LFA?
I think so. So I was talking to one of my buddies that's on the card, Yusuf, and we're just talking about, all right, we're going to go eat, and then we're just going to go fucking talk and just see what we can make happen right now. This is another thing, man. So Yusuf was supposed to be on that card. You get money for fighting. Like, obviously, all of us have sponsors. All of us get paid. We're professional athletes right now. And it's like, Yusuf's going to Morocco right after the fight. So he fights next week. The week after, he was supposed to fight next week. The week after, he's going to Morocco to go see his family. Yusuf Zalal is a beautiful story if you guys never heard it. But he came from Morocco, left his family behind, or his mom and his sister.
Right.
And this is his first time in like 11 to 12 years to go back and see Morocco, or to go back and see his family in Morocco, and super important for him. But also, man, that financial, that like he had a big check coming his way.
You guys are prize fighters. You get paid to fight. I mean, you're not fighting for free.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And that's the end of the day. It's like this is my job. Like this is what I do for a living. This is. Like, this puts food in my family's mouth. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend and I's mouth, but still. So I don't know. And like I said, that goes back to all the key components of just having a great team behind me. Is all this costs money, man. I train at the best facilities.
Yep.
I have the best nutritionist possible in MMA, and now I'm working with this guy named Jamie Atlas, who's working wonders on my body, man.
What does
last
he do?
week. So I don't know exactly what his job is. He's just all sorts of, like, I know he's nutrition. I know he's he just all around like sports kind of guy. So I don't know exactly what he does. It's kind of funny that I called him because it was one of those things where it's like, I called him because I had a shoulder pain. I had real bad shoulder pain. I couldn't move my shoulder up above my I couldn't move like my elbow above my shoulder at all because it's just so stiff in there. And I called him like, hey man, I hurt my shoulder. I don't really know what's happening with it, but like, can you take a look at me and can you see what's happening right now? And it's kind of funny because I just knew he was really good with the body. I didn't really know his exact job or title. So I was just like, as soon as I texted him or as soon as I wrote him and he's like, yeah, I got you. I was like, come in. I'm like, all right, I hope this is what he does. But like what he does with the body is just amazing. If you ever if you get a chance, check out Jamie Atlas on like an Instagram or something. He did the same thing with the lady that he did to me. Is I couldn't move my shoulder. He started massaging and had me working little different things. And by the end of the day, I was moving my shoulder way above my head. And within an hour, actually. And like I said, he just got my body loose, just worked with it. And just like I said, kind of massaged me out a little bit and just kind of felt where I was like a little bit weak and unstable. And like I said, together we're working at like how I can stabilize that and how I can make everything better and balanced and
greater focus on recovery.
Yeah, dude, 100% focus on this recovery. Like I said, I'm getting really professional about it, and this is like the big thing that I was adding to that camp. It's just everything, man. I'm not only focused on getting ready, but I'm focused on recovery, on what I need to do to kind of eat to stay energized between my fights or between fight camps. So
do you keep the fight camp going at this point?
Oh, always. The fight camp never ends for us, man. So I'll never not train. So as soon as I eat, or so I'll be training today for sure, especially so I'll have to train all through the next week. I was looking forward for that week off after fight week, but whatever. If we're gonna have to grind, we're gonna have to grind, man. Like I said, I think this is kind of a little bit the story of my career so far. It's just a lot of like, it's a lot of heartache and a little bit of like a hold up, but like I said, that's what makes it all more sweeter in the end, right?
The martial artist journey.
Yeah, right. So,
but yeah, I agree. I mean, you're definitely building this pro team around you. It sounds like you're taking the approach that's necessary to get to that next level. You've got your nutrition coach. You're essentially providing you with the meals, which is also a big aspect. Not only is he helping you with the nutrition, but he's also cooking for you.
Yeah.
You've got your coach Mark Montoya at Factory X. You've got Landau Performance working on your strength and conditioning. You've got, what was the name? I'm sorry, Jamie Atlas?
Jamie Atlas.
Jamie Atlas helping you with the recovery. I mean, you've really got every angle covered. Your girlfriend at home, as far as your emotional support.
Support, man. She does it all. It's kind of crazy.
and your Royval Army selling the tickets for you, your marketing engine. So I agree. I mean, it sounds like you're right in the spot where you're ready to run and you just need an opportunity to prove yourself to be ready for that next level. If not, just get the opportunity at that next level.
Yeah, right. Knock that door down, man. Come out swinging, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. So I don't know where we're going from here, but we're definitely going up, man. Like I said, I believe in myself. I know I'm a top contender. I know I'm really. I'm like watching some of these guys perform in the UFC. It kind of just makes me a little bit like sad. I'm like, I know I can do better than that. I know
Absolutely.
I know I'm more technical. I know I'm more violent. I know I can get that job done better than this person. So
yeah, I agree. I think you're ready, man. I think you're ready for it.
We're right at the cusp, and like I said, a lot of us Colorado fighters are, and like that was just like just keep reiterating, man. That Colorado card's so amazing, man. Even not on our team, but Anthony Adams is a star, man. Anthony Adams is hard to deny at this point, man. He does great things. I think the only fight he's lost recently was that Contender Series, short notice.
Yep.
I think it was a week notice at a weight class above his, man. So like.
No, he's the real deal, and he trains with everybody too. You know, he gets all the different looks in Colorado. He's not scared to go train with different teams and put himself in uncomfortable situations, and I think that pays off for him.
Yeah, agreed. And I think he got real professional recently too, and made a big switch up in his team, and I think that's going to be great for his future, honestly.
Yeah.
Not that I'm his coach or anything, but I think that's great for him, man.
You want to give your sponsors a shout out since they have supported you this whole time?
Yeah, and that's actually another big thing too. So. Since I've gotten a lot better at talking and promoting and all that stuff, is I got a lot of good sponsors, man. One of the big things that kind of come with me and like I guess Factory X and the team is just like a little bit of competition, man. I think all of us kind of want to raise the bar and up the level, and I think an example we all do is kind of like we're in the strength and conditioning room, and one of us is hitting like 13 miles an hour. It's like, dang, I held 13 miles for 45 seconds. Like, beat that. And then next thing you know, I got 13 for 45 seconds too. And next thing you know, we're all like, now none of us go below 15 miles an hour. At least a good portion of us. Yeah. All of our top guys, especially ones that are about to fight, like Austin. I can't keep up with Austin because that guy was a collegiate football player. I'm
Austin
sure
Jones.
Yeah, he's hitting like 60 16, 17 miles an hour. I can't keep up with that, but like I can hold 15 miles per hour for like 30
That's
seconds strong, which is like great for me, man. I'm not the most athletic person. So all of us kind of like keep upping the bar on each other. And that being said, is one of the people that kind of upped the bar for me in my life is one of my cousins. One of my cousins, Evan, is phenomenal, man. Graduated DU at 21 with his master's. Yeah, he got his associates in high school. So he graduated with his associates, man.
Eyes on the prize.
Yeah, right. Super talented guy. I think 21 bought his first house, 22 bought his second house, and he still owns all these houses. And this young kid just knows what he's doing, just staying financially responsible. But recently he quit a fucking awesome job. He had whatever he got his degree in. He had a great job in it, making a lot of money and doing a lot of great things. And he quit his job and just started his own business. He started his own business making hemp.
Cool.
And with that, he's doing an awesome job creating a business. And like I said, for him, man, having him around and he's my newest sponsor.
What's his company's name?
His hemp company is called Cure Native.
Cure Native.
Yeah,
cool.
So it's a new company. It's just coming around, and he's doing great things, selling CBD, making CBD, but also like selling hemp. And I think that's his main focus with all that. But with that, he created another company, which is crazy because he created two companies at the same time, him and his business partner, called Tushi. I think it's called Tushi Tea. So it's like CBD tea. So it's tea with like CBD, and that's actually helped me recover and all that stuff too.
Cool.
Like I said, so he's doing a lot of great things. And like I said, for me, he's just upping the bar completely where it's like, all right, chase your dream. Like this dude had a great job making great money and decided to say, screw all that and just chase his dream to the fullest. And man, that's
pursuit of passion.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like what you're doing right now, man. It's just inspiring, man. People don't do that. Nobody does that, man. Nobody gets a good job, makes good money, and it's like, I'm gonna risk it all. All the money I saved up, you know what? I'm throwing it all to a business that I don't know anything about, but I'm throwing it all into it. And
well, you know as much as anyone, it's the pursuit that's worth it. You know, it's the passion pursuit that makes it all worth it.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's how I feel about him, man. It's just like he definitely just like upped the bar for my family. I think he's probably the first person to ever graduate college in our family, and just not only graduated but just did it like
crushed it.
Yeah, just crushed it, man. Just did a great job. But like I said, he's one of my sponsors right now, and he's two of my sponsors right now with two of his business, and I couldn't be any more proud to represent him. Another company I have is right here, right down the street actually from Boulder. It's called Stashbox. They're a new company, but they have their own like they're like another company that just does it all, man. They're just found an idea and kind of ran with it. They have a dispensary. They have CBD that they sell, but specifically what I'm sponsored with them by is it's called Stashbox, and it's like a CBD like vape pen type thing.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's like a vape box or whatever.
Cool.
And they said there's another company that they're Colorado grown, and then they're just running with it 100%, man. They're finding different outlets and just growing their business completely, and it's cool and inspiring to be around people like that.
Yeah, it's neat how much business opportunity there is in Colorado for these young entrepreneurs too. So it's nice to see. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if you're a fight fan and you're watching this, like, CBD dispensary companies, man, are big for us fighters.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're huge, man. They're a lot of our sponsors and a lot of our income. And like, without like a company like that, man, is like for our fighters, it's like we lose a lot of opportunity, especially since UFC started that Reebok deal. It's
yeah, it's tough. I mean, that was a big portion, at least for the people that were marketing themselves. A big portion of the pay was the names on the shorts. I mean, you know, Condom Depot was the big name on the front of a lot of shorts for a long time because they were paying people. Yeah. And the UFC actually, before even Reebok, shut them out just because they didn't like that when they were trying to look more professional. But, I mean, you know,
don't practice safe sex.
Right?
Coming from Rawdog.
And it's ridiculous because in general, like, whoever pays them, I mean, take that money. Why does it matter? Like, if the fighter's willing to put that on their butt, they're willing to put it on their butt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So, and like I said, with a lot of like that UFC like sponsor loss is outside the UFC, we lost a lot of money on that too,
right.
Especially with the TV kind of promotion. So
because these companies just stopped looking at fighters as an option.
Exactly. Yeah, it just became less of an outlet for them. And but for us, man, there's only a few people that only a few businesses that really stick with us, and that CBD companies and dispensaries are coming in strong for a lot of us MMA fighters.
Yeah.
And like I said, and honestly, it's helpful for us MMA fighters. I get hit in the head a lot. You can see me stumbling on my sentence now. You know what I'm saying? I need that CBD to recover any which way possible, or whatever it is, to kind of just recover and just give me that little bit of leg up the next day, or
Absolutely.
what's gonna help me out the next day, or maybe even like long my career. So like I said, I don't know, man. Those are great companies to kind of have by you, and they do a lot
Right.
for us. And specifically, Stashbox has done a lot for me, and I'm excited to have them a part of my team right now.
And give you the opportunity to chase your dream.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of just reiterating the same point. I got sponsored by this called R&T Hale. So it's Regina and Tara Hale, but it's two single moms that just raise their kids that start their own Hale company, man, which is like a crazy business for two women to start. But two women just start their own business, man. Like, they're doing great things, man. Like I said, just two, and I know them personally, so I know what they've sacrificed and what they put into this business, and like it's amazing to see them, and super inspiring to be around them. And like I said, they're a new company, they're gonna do great things, and like I said, she's another person that quit a good job. Both of them quit a good job to kind of just put their all into this business, and I couldn't be any more excited to have someone like that, or everybody that I have a part of my team representing me and me representing them, because I feel like that is a little bit what I represent. It's just that hardworking, risk it all kind of person. Is what essentially fighting is, man. You're risking a lot.
Absolutely.
You're putting a lot in there. Like, I don't know if this shit's gonna ever pay out at this point, but like,
Yeah, neither do they, right?
yeah, right. That's exactly.
Yeah, you guys are in a similar situation. I think that's why it's so relatable.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, they're a new company, man. They're gonna do great things, and it's inspiring to see those two just go and just do it themselves and just take it all into their hand. And
R&T Hale.
R&T Hale,
Cool.
man. So if you guys have Hale, man, go R&T Hale. And the last one is another guy. So I know all my sponsors at this point. And
Yeah.
The last one's called Ace Towing, and it's just like it's a tow company through Denver, and it's ran by a guy named Eli Chavez, who's like my stepdad, or what is it, a father-in-law at this point. And this is he's the hardest working man I've ever met. He's just working all day, every day, on the phone constantly. And like, there's like a small portion where me and my buddy were running a business, and like it was the same thing, man. I was on the phone all day with employees, like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know, all that stuff, man. Argue with them, kind of trying to keep everybody in line. It's a hard job, man. And he does that all through Denver, Lakewood, and like you don't see any tow, like any kind of like, you're not in Lakewood or Denver without seeing Ace Towing cleaning up an accident completely. So like I said, that's a high risk job, man. A tow company, man, you don't really think about it, but like they're putting themselves in danger, man. So the tow truck drivers it's a dangerous job, and like I said, he's out there, he does it all. He goes and does tows, he runs the business, he goes and bargains and gets himself these deals, man. And he's another just great person that I love being around on a daily basis, man. It's just that I can inspired by him, and like I said, I can see how hard he works, and I watch his hard work pay off. I've seen his success. He's been doing this for a long time, so he's already like, he's not like a new company that's trying to come around and build himself up. He's built himself up, and he's still running and not settling for anything less than what he is. It's easy to kind of get like a couple of contracts and do a good job, and it's like, all right, well, we're gonna lay off. He's still buying better contracts for himself and his workers, man. Right. And it's great to be around that and be a part of a business with that.
Not resting on his laurels.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I have a strong sponsorship team around me, man, which is amazing.
Well, and a big part of business is that it is relationships. Business networking. It's a phrase, right? It's something that's encouraged to a lot of people, and even a corporate setting, let alone when you're running your own business. It's incredibly important. But you're your own brand. Like you said, you have this team around you. Not only do you have this team of like professionals that directly support you, whether it's coaching or physically, but also your sponsorship team, and that's a relationship. I mean, you are a brand, and they're supporting your brand as you support their brand, and that your network builds over time as you kind of develop your brand and your business, and you're kind of at this point where you're ready to go. You're peaking. Like you said, you're entering into your prime, and now just need that opportunity. And bummer that this one is kind of falling through, but like they said, the in my opinion, verbiage is positive, saying postponing as opposed to canceling in general, and you're ready to go. You're right there, on the cusp.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing that you said. Is like you are your own brand when you're a fighter, and it takes, like I said, when you're like, I'm not the most comfortable branding myself, or like being like, hey, I'm a good MMA fighter, like come check me out. You're gonna want to sponsor me. You want to be a part of this.
Yourself, absolutely.
It's real hard to sell yourself. So I like just emphasize on these young fighters, man. Do that now, man. Get that word, and like just brand yourself. If you believe in yourself, let people know that, man. Because, like I said, nobody's gonna come up to you and just ask. And that's how I wanted it to be. I wanted someone, and like it's been that way a couple of times where it's like, hey, we want to sponsor you, man. Like that was a great performance. This, and that. You know, like sometimes you get lucky with that, but at the same time, like. The squeaky wheel. What is it? The squeaky wheel doesn't get oil, or whatever the hell it is.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
It gets the oil. Yeah, that's exactly whatever it is. I'm terrible.
But yeah, I mean, the idea is that you have to speak out to get the attention, and you know that's what a lot of people are hesitant to do: speak out and bring attention to themselves. Because then what? You try your hardest, you put your heart on the line, and you could potentially fail, and that's a terrifying feeling. It's something that a lot of every fighter has to embrace at some point in their career. Yeah. But when you're asking them to not only do it on the fighting level, but then also on the marketing level, it is a lot of stress, anxiety, where some people just want to reject it and not think about it. But like you said, there's value. I mean, there's value in building your brand, and it's worth it. Yeah,
there's absolute value to building your brand, and that's something that when I first started fighting, I started fighting right out of high school. I was 18, and I turned pro by 19, which is really early to do all that stuff. But at the same time, I was beating everybody first round victories, first round, all my amateur, and fighting for amateur belts back to back to back. But that whole entire time, I wasn't making any Facebook posts. I wasn't making any posts at all. I didn't think I got a Facebook until I turned pro, like a little bit later on. And it's just like I wasn't building my brand. And at the same time, I was watching people around me, and I was watching like people doing the same thing, maybe even a little bit older ages than me, like getting all this attention, getting all these sponsors. I'm like, well, how are they doing that? How are they doing that? I'm like, well, because I'm not doing what I need to do on the media. I'm not doing what I need to do as a branding myself. And like, it took me later on in life to kind of realize, like, I should have started on this really early, man. Sure. If I started on this at 18 years old, man, who knows what could have been like when by my second pro fight or my first pro fight, what could have happened for me. But me, I was just like so quiet and just like, is this going to work out? I'm over here like, I won this fight, but am I going to win my next fight? I'm like, all right, well, I turned pro now, but am I going to do anything from here? And then it just kind of took a while and like a little bit of confidence that comes to that. It's just training at like Factory X, training with like people that are at that UFC caliber, at that high level, and you're like training with them. Like, there's not a big difference in like a world class fighter compared to just a normal professional fighter. It's just them believing in themselves and them putting in that and just showing up that day.
And small differences. I mean, it's like they say, inches matter, and I think it's also your team matters.
Yeah.
So you're taking this approach now that is very professional. Most people, I mean, I can tell you from myself, right? Like, if I don't view myself as being a pro fighter day in and day out, then I don't build this team around me. I just kind of wing it,
Yeah.
Once you have that commitment and you're saying, this is my life, that I am a pro fighter, I'm going to build this team around me. I mean, it does make a difference in your output, in your performances. And even if it's just confidence, or even if it's just a little bit more flexibility or a slightly better diet and more energy, all those small differences, all those small things make a big difference, kind of that Malcolm Gladwell tipping point idea. It's not one thing that you do that's going to get you from A to B or get you over that hump. It's all these little things that you do on a consistent basis that creates this overwhelming force and a tipping point to now you are on the precipice of getting into the UFC. Now you do just need a platform to be able to show your skills, and you're ready, Yeah,
and that's something like to even be at the UFC, man. It's like something that they want us. They want, oh, you have a following? Like, okay, then we want you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a following or anything on like even any of your like social media platforms, like what exactly they're gonna want like from you exactly, 7-0 or not? You don't have anybody that wants to watch you. Who cares? Exactly.
Right. So whether it's right or wrong, that's the way it is.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like at the end of the day, who was that dude that was doing backflips in the cage and stuff?
Michael Chiara.
Yeah, that psychopath. But he said something great before the fight too. He was out there dancing on the way out there and stuff, which I always think is kind of like excessive. But he's like, I'm an entertainer, and I don't necessarily think like when I go out there, I don't think I'm an entertainer. I think I'm a fighter. Like I'm a fighter. I'm a prize fighter. Exactly what you guys are. Is I go out there and I fight. Like I go out there, and like me fighting is entertaining. I don't go out there. I don't go out there to score points. I'm not trying to win rounds. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. I'm trying to go out there. I'm trying to fight, and I'm trying to go home because I am a prize fighter.
Yeah, fighting with a purpose.
Yeah, I'm going out there. I'm trying to get the fuck out of there. I'm trying to go out there, but I am fighting that whole entire time. And like I said, you need to be a little bit of like an entertainer though too, is essentially what it is, man, because people are paying to watch you. Like you got to keep in mind that like at the end of the day, if you want to make money in this, man, people are paying to watch you. You need to be entertaining some way or some form. And Chael Sonnen and what's that guy? Colby Covington found different outlets because their styles don't really lead to the most exciting, but they found different outlets and just, all right, well, I'm an entertainer. This is how I'm going to entertain. We're going to take this pro wrestling type of way to go about it. And like, that's how they're going to make their money and that's how they're going to do their thing. But me, I don't necessarily need that. My fighting talks for itself. Like, I don't need to do all that stuff.
Well, I think there's two differences there. I mean, I think both of them do the same thing, but Colby Covington wins, and they said you need to, be more exciting because you're not selling tickets type idea. So he created this
character.
This character where he's just a dick. But the other aspect for Chael Sonnen was he recognized he's not a top-tier fighter. Yeah. And he said, okay, well, I'll just talk my way into these big fights and talk my way into getting paid. So, I mean, there's both worlds. I think you're taking more the first path and, marketing certain aspect of it, whether or not you have to go as far as Colby Covington is another discussion. But you're taking the aspect of not only do I let my performances do the talking, but I'll market myself as well. And then winning dominantly is what gets the attention as opposed to just running your mouth.
Yeah. But also, like, what I was doing when I was an amateur is I would win a dominant performance. I'd beat another top amateur and, like, be young in my career. And then I'd disappear right after that, Like, I wouldn't make a social media presence or anything where it's like, you don't see Chael Sonnen beat Anderson or beat whoever it is without being, Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck. And, like, I want you next. And
even losing, he does it with the tension on him.
Yeah, exactly. He switches it completely. And he, like I said, he does what he needs to do to kind of keep that, like, it's important. Yeah, it's exactly. You can't catch that buzz and then disappear. And that's what I was doing constantly as an amateur is I would lose that little bit of buzz about me, and then it's like, oh, Brandon's fighting again next week. Who knew? Like, oh, I'm just stumbling part of card. I guess Brandon's over there. He didn't promote this fight at all, but he's going to be out there. And like I said, so I think when I first started my career, I was a little jealous of people like in my same situation, but at the same time, they were doing what they needed to do. And now that I've gotten a little bit older and better at all this stuff, is just I've taken a little bit of note out of all their pages and just like, all right, that's what I need to do, and that's what I need to do to become successful. And it's helped me more in my career than anything. Is now I'm making a little bit more money in these fights, and now I can pay for nutrition. I can pay for someone to check out my body, and I can pay to go do what I need to do.
It's a reinforcing kind of prophecy. You say I'm going to be a pro fighter. You go put in the work. You get the win. The win provides you with more money. The win provides you with more attention, more brand value, more brand recognition. That brings even more money in, which allows you to reinvest back into yourself and your training and your career, which means that you're more likely to win on the back end. So it just keeps reinforcing the snowball effect, essentially.
Yeah. And that's so funny. And that's like the best part about it, too, is I'll start making a little bit more money. And I'm like, all right, well, now I need to buy this. Now I need to get more privates. Now I need to get more of this. And then it's like, well, I had all this money, but now I'm just paying it to better myself. But like,
you're doing the right thing with it, right?
Yeah,
you're reinvesting in yourself.
Yeah, and I guess long term, that's exactly what it was. But that's not how I thought it would be. You're like, oh, I'm going to have this to save. I'm going to have this to do this with. And
it's because you're still hungry. You don't feel like you've reached your potential or what you want.
That's exactly it. I'm not where I want to be yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not where I want to be or where I know where the hard work I put in, where I belong. I've put in a lot of work in the sport, and I know the outcome I should get from it. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to ride the wave till it pans out. And I know it will pan out eventually, man, because like I said, I can't, like I said, unless something injury-wise happens, knock on wood, but like, I know my skill level can't be denied, Like, I know that I'm at that top-tier level of, like, striking, jiu-jitsu. My wrestling's getting good, man. So, like, I'm not struggling anywhere with these fighters. I don't watch the UFC flyweight division, and I'm like, damn, what am I going to do if I have to fight that guy, I'm watching them like, well, like, put me in that fight, man. That'd be a good matchup for me, And I'm watching with, like, I'm like I said, there was a point in time where I was watching and taking notes, and I'm watching and I'm like, I think I can do better than that. And like I still take and keep and see what's valuable to me. And when I watch these UFC fights, I'm like, all right, well that'll help me. I can add that to my game. But a lot of it's like, well, this guy should be doing this, and this. Like I can compete with that for sure. I can do that. Like
you feel like you can win there, not only compete. You think you can win.
Yeah, exactly. I think I could strive there. So it's like one of those situations where it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how long anyone can keep fighting. I don't know if an injury can put anybody out at any given time. But at this time, like, I know that right now, given my skill set and given where I'm going, and I've just been progressing since I've started. So, like I said, there's no way that I can't be in the UFC eventually,
I think that's a good way to end it, man. I'm excited. I'm confident for your future as well. How can people follow you?
Just follow me on Brandon Royval everywhere, man. I'm Brandon Royval everywhere. Be Royval if not, but that's it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I'm
I
excited.
appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you guys
course.
taking time, especially after the fight's not happening. And
Hey, no, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely, Brandon. Thanks, man.